On January 23, 2020, Wuhan, the capital city of China's Hubei province, home to 11 million, was locked down. From 10 a.m. that day, all public transportation was stopped and residents were required to stay put. The city, which many around the world had never even heard of before, became synonymous with the outbreak of a mysterious new coronavirus. Western media has had a strange fascination with the city ever since, treating it as akin to the location of some end-of-day science fiction movie in the centre of a country many still see as mysterious and inaccessible. Last week, on April 8, Wuhan officially opened again to the outside world after 76 days. Local infections of COVID-19 were effectively reduced from nearly 15,000 in one day at its peak to 0. The very next day, I was on a high-speed train from Shanghai to check it out for myself. After entering Hubei province and then finally pulling into Wuhan, it was strange to imagine that this place had been locked off from the outside world, while under the gaze of the international media for nearly 3 months. This is Lucy, a Shanghainese who's been living in Wuhan for the past few years with her husband, a local. She agreed to come out and take a walk with me. This is one of her first times out socializing in months. She showed me around many of Wuhan's streets, including this art installation which seems to offer locals the feeling of 热闹, something so important for many Chinese that's been missing from people's lives. Although nowhere near as busy as it would normally be, Lucy reminded me that these streets, usually some of Wuhan's busiest, were completely empty less than a month ago, except for the occasional food delivery guy. Along the banks of the Yangtze River in Jiangtan Park, some residents were making the most of the nice weather. For a moment, I forgot about COVID-19, and I'm sure these locals did as well, even if just for a few hours. Okay, it's about 9 p.m. on the first day in Wuhan, and I thought I'd come outside and take a look and see what it's like at nighttime. Wuhan definitely has a special charm in the evening. I'm on my way to meet an Englishwoman called Ali who's been living in Wuhan for nearly 5 years and stayed during the entire lockdown. Today she's off to get a haircut for the first time in months. Despite being technically open, extensive measures are still in place here in Wuhan. I can't enter Ali's apartment complex or go with her into the salon, so we settled for a quick chat on the way.
And it's stamped to say that I can leave, but I've only been to the park.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So how does it feel then to be out here?
The first time, it was really frightening to leave.
Oh yeah.
If it wasn't for her 2 rescue dogs, Ali probably would have got out of Wuhan before the city was locked down.
I knew there was an option to fly home if I wanted to, but I have my dogs. So I decided to stay because I didn't know if I left when I'd be able to come back.
Yeah.
Or
What would it have been like if they weren't there?
it would have been horrible.
Yeah.
I really sympathize with people that were completely on their own. I think if I'd been with this partner or spouse, we would have driven each other insane, but they've kept me really grounded and really comforted in a really difficult time.
Next up, I took a short metro ride back to Hankou railway station. Foreigners in Wuhan can't access the local health QR code, so I needed to register with my passport each time. I'm on my way to check out the place where some of the first patients of novel coronavirus were exposed. The Huanan Seafood Market, about 10 minutes walk from the station. The market is still closed and cordoned off, and there are some rumours that it may be demolished. With restaurants mostly closed and eating out still not allowed, my only chance to eat some famous local food is by ordering online. Food delivery crews are still not allowed to enter any premises, so I needed to go and find my food outside the hotel and then have it disinfected. Now, since it's my last night in Wuhan, I thought I'd try this famous dish which is called Wuhan 热干面, which is basically Wuhan hot dry noodles. Dry just means that there's no soup in here. And since Wuhan's restaurants, you're still not allowed to go there to eat, you can only do takeout. So what I've done is ordered takeout, and I'm sitting here by myself in my hotel room. Sounds tragic, but I don't mind. Let's see how this tastes. Pretty good, I like it. Today I'm heading back to Shanghai. I have a few hours free to visit one of Wuhan's famous landmarks, the Yellow Crane Tower, originally built way back in the year 223 during the Three Kingdoms period. This is the closest I'll get. Cultural venues around Wuhan remain closed. Throughout history, the tower's been destroyed and rebuilt at least 7 times, including being completely ruined by fire in 1884. It rose again from the ashes and is still an iconic landmark of this resilient city. Likewise, I have no doubt that Wuhan will bounce back from this tough and trying period. People are definitely not as keen as I thought they would be to burst out of their homes with bells on as soon as the lockdown was lifted. I suspect they're probably still shell-shocked over it all. Instead of diving into the deep end, they're slowly dipping their toes into the water to see if the temperature's right. For many people, it's not just yet.